Awesome. All right. Well, today I'm going to be presenting Bolt Express. It is our framework for building add-ons faster. So I'm Justin Taylor. I'm the founder at Hyper Brew. We build custom Adobe plugins for video teams to help them work smarter. And we also maintain a number of open source projects for the plugin development community. So primarily we do custom Adobe plugins. So I often tell clients, hey, if you can't find a plugin online to do something you want to do, we can build that for you. We do a lot of workflow automation. If something takes 20 clicks, we can make it into 1 click, that sort of thing. But as you guys know, after you've built the same type of project hundreds of times, you want to start automating your own systems, right? You want to start templatizing things. And so we came up with templates for our CEP panels that kind of grew, more robust over time. And that eventually became our project Bolt CEP. And we open sourced that in 2022 for the public so that we can, more people can start using it, more people can contribute to it, and it can become better over time. And then in 2023, we were able to release Bolt UXP for UXP plugins. That one was backed by a scripts, which is fantastic. So it was kind of the same, mindset, same framework, but modified for UXP plugins for Photoshop and InDesign. We started kind of looking to the future and seeing, what else was next? What could we apply this Bolt framework to? And Adobe Express was a new application, on the horizon. So we started kind of thinking about, hey, what could a Bolt Express look like potentially for developing add-ons? And of course, these projects take a long time. So, it was something that, we wanted to do, but it was going to take time to get there. And thankfully, we had some awesome funding from the Adobe Fund for Design to kind of kickstart this project and get it out to the public much faster. So huge thanks to Ingo and everybody on the Express team for approving this. It was exciting to be able to release this just before Adobe Max this year. So just recently we released Bolt Express, which is our framework for building add-ons faster. And we're going to dive into exactly what that looks like today. So what is Bolt Express? So Bolt Express is a lightning fast boilerplate for building Adobe Express add-ons in Svelte, React, or Vue, built on Vite, TypeScript, and Sass. If you're not sure what all those words mean, it's totally fine. I'm going to kind of go through it and break it down so it makes sense. But basically, you can start up a new add-on easily with Yarn, NPM, or PNPM. And you can pick from the most common front-end frameworks, Svelte, React, or Vue, and get started with your add-on. And it has full type safety. This is a really big one for us. That way, when you're communicating with the front end and the back end, you have type safe communication. You have type safety in the front end, in the back end, and also in the manifest configuration settings. That way, as you're building, you know what to expect rather than having to debug at runtime and that sort of thing. Instant hot reloading was a really big one for us as well. So that way, when you're coding and you're making changes, you can kind of see those updates in real time. This is powered by Vite.js, which has really fast HMR hot reloading. It's a lot faster than file watching or the other traditional methods. Optimized build size is another thing. So Vite uses rollup when it comes to build time, and so that just optimizes the build size, making sure you're really only shipping the actual code that you need. That way you can get the smallest bundle size possible. Faster uploads, downloads, better user experience, all that kind of stuff. Oh, sorry. Are you guys only seeing the same slide? Is there anybody else?
No, I see it. For me, it's working fine.
You see it? Yeah. Oh, okay, cool. Okay, just double checking.
No
Cool. Okay. So fast packaging to zip is another thing for publish. So when it comes time to publish an add-on, you want to package that up as a zip and then publish that through the add-on portal. So we have an easy command. You just run yarn zip, and that will build your add-on and then package it up into a zip for publishing. There's a bunch of other features, don't have time for today, including type-safe end-to-end communication, smart bundling the front end and the back end separately. We have a GitHub Actions workflow for building and more things as well. But this time I'm going to switch to live demo. So we're going to just build a quick add-on here and show you how easy the process is. All right, so I'm going to pull up Visual Studio Code and then Adobe Express. So the first thing we're going to do to get started is just run, make the console a little bigger here. You're just going to run yarn create Bolt Express. And of course, you can use npm or pnpm. I just prefer yarn myself. That's going to download the packages necessary. And then we have this nice CLI prompt that says create Bolt Express. Where do you want to create your project? So let's call this project Turbo 5. And then you can pick a unique display name. And then you can create a unique ID if you want. And then you select your framework, Svelte, React, or Vue. I'm going to go with Svelte. And then install dependencies. I'm going to say yes, otherwise you have to do it afterwards. Keep sample code snippets. This just has some example buttons and that sort of thing to help you get started. So I'd recommend keeping this in, at least the first time you use Bolt Express. If you want to strip it out later when you know what you're doing, feel free to. But yeah, that'll just kind of help us, give us some functions and buttons to get started with. So now it's going to start installing dependencies, and now it's done. So now it says, our new Bolt Express project has been generated in this folder. So let's go ahead and cd into that folder and get started. So I'm going to say cd turbo 5. And then let's say code period, and that's going to open up a new window. All right. So here's our new project all scaffolded. And so I'll go into the structure here in a second, but just to get started, let's go ahead and run yarn build. So that's going to do the initial build of the project. And then once that's done, we're going to go into dev mode, and that's going to enable hot reloading. So you'll see it went ahead and built our files into the temp folder here. And then when we run yarn dev, that's going to start development mode. It's going to build our files and then serve them over the local host port so that we can attach them to Adobe Express. So go ahead and launch Adobe Express over here, and then we're going to enable this add-on testing option. And then this port just has to match. And if this is the first time you're doing any sort of add-on development, you will have to do a initial setup process, but that's documented in the README just to create the security keys. You only need to do that once per machine, but then say connect. So here we go. So now we have Turbo version 0. So this is here. So I can click on the add-on, and now it's going to load in the sidebar here. Okay, so there is our add-on that's ready to go. So I just have a sample counter and then a button that creates some shapes in the Express document. Cool. So now let's see how the hot reloading works. So if I come into source here, I go into our main.svelte. This is our main UI entry point. So say I want to change some text here. It says hello. Let's say hello world. Gonna hit save, and you can see that just updates instantly. If I want to duplicate stuff, hit save, it updates right away. So this is a really fast way to just make some changes, see them in real time, and just iterate very, very quickly. So this is for the front end if you wanted to then modify code on the back end. So a little bit into the structure. I don't have time to do like a deep dive today, but source is basically all of your front end code. So we have our Svelte files, all of our libraries and stuff for the front end. And then source code is going to be the back end. So this is where we have our code TS, and this is our main entry point for the backend. So for instance, we have a sample function here, create box, that's creating these squares. And basically you can see each time they're different color, a different opacity, just kind of randomized. So say we wanted to limit that to be blue, for instance. So instead of all, RGBA, them all being randomized, let's just comment this out and say R is 0, and then blue is 1, and then 0. Hit save, and then now, or green, sorry, RGB. And then now you'll see, now we just only generate green with different opacities. So yeah, so again, also really fast reloading the back end and the front end. And that way we can just, quickly iterate through our project and build it out. Now, once you have your project done, Turbo's ready for prime time. Let's ship it. So all you have to do now is go ahead and click the process here and run yarn zip. And that's going to not only do the build process, but also package that up into a zip for you so it's ready to go. So then I can come to the zip folder here, and now we have turbo00.zip. And so now we can go into our portal on Adobe Express and upload that for approval, and it's all set. We don't have to worry about anything else. So yeah, again, Bolt Express is just a way to streamline the whole development process from development to publishing the whole thing. So yeah, that's kind of a quick demo. Again, don't have time to dive in any deeper today, but there's more documentation on the site for that. And yeah, just have a few wrap up slides here. So yeah, again, Bolt Express is totally free and open source. Check it out on our website. You can get started today with Yarn Create Bolt Express. We already have some projects being built. We recently just dropped a webcam for Express ourselves, and so that's available today. Randomizer by Yugen just was released recently as well, which is another one using Bolt Express. So it's cool to see more developers starting to use it in their projects. If you use Bolt Express, let us know. We like to feature projects that are using it on our website, on our social medias, all that good stuff. We also have a Discord with over 400 developers sharing tips and tricks on Adobe tool development. We'd love to have you join if you're interested. And then again, priority support. We're a company that helps people with their plugins, whether it's developing them or consulting. So if you need help, feel free to reach out there as well. And yeah, again, we have Bolt Express, Bolt CP, Bolt UXP projects that are using them. We love to feature on our website and our socials. So let us know if you're using them. We'd love to repost those. And that's all I got for today. Thank you guys.